I recently made a video all about this PC, which was gifted to me and is awesome, and I did some upgrades to it to kind of get it up and running for my needs. And one of the things that I upgraded was adding an Elgato Cam Link Pro capture card. And now that I've had the computer up and running for a while and I've kind of put it through its paces, I wanted to focus specifically on the Cam Link Pro because I think that it is a really, if you need the things that it does, it is a very cool thing to get, which I am now realizing describes all products. If a product does a thing that you need, it's a good thing to get. What the Cam Link Pro does, so I'm recording right now into OBS. That's what you're seeing. Actually, you can't see it on there, but ooh, there we go. There's my OBS window. But what I can do with the Cam Link is this right here. I have 4 cameras connected, all recording in 4K. And that's really what it lets me do. Is it's not just a 4K capture card, it's not just a 4-input capture card, it is a 4K HDMI input capture card that goes up to 4K 30. So all of these right here, and I actually have in the bottom right, the sort of awkward like wide shot from behind is the OBSBot Tail 2, and I have this set up so I can actually show you all the different cameras. So this main shot right here, the one that I started the video with, this is actually my Sony FX3, as you can kind of see right there. And then I have this shot over here, which is my Sony A7S3 with a 50mm lens. You can see that there. I've got this sort of like music video wide angle shot down here, and this one is actually just my Sony A7 IV with a 16 to 35mm lens just sort of sitting on the desk because I just needed, I hadn't ran out of room. I just needed a place to put the camera. So that's just this shot here. And then the shot that's showing all of these is the OBSBot Tail 2, which is also recording at 4K 30. Now, I have seen a few things online where people have tried to get the Cam Link Pro to output a 4K 60 signal. I have no idea how successful or practical that is. It's not something that I've tried to do. 4K 30, it's more than enough for my needs, and it has been really excellent so far. And a big reason that I want to make this video now and talk about this is not only to share my thoughts and how it works, but also you can't, it's discontinued, so there is kind of an urgency. If you think that this is a good fit for you, it's not going to be available forever. I can actually use the Tail 2 to do a very low-tech screen recording, screen capture, because I'm literally just recording the screen. And through the magic of the Cam Link, though, I can still pop myself on screen here. So this is Elgato's website. The Cam Link Pro, you'll see it is listed. It's $249. It's in stock. I can add it to cart right now. This was discontinued back in 2024, and Elgato has said that they have no plans to upgrade it or release a new version or anything, so it's just kind of done. $250 for a 4K 4-source capture card is pretty sweet. The thing that this can do, that something like an ATEM Mini or the Rodecaster Video or even like a YoloBox when it's connected through USB can't do, is break out the individual signals, is this right here. And this is something that a lot of people want and need in their workflows. So go over here to this camera because this lens is so pretty. This is the cheapest lens that Sony makes, and it's so good, just the 51.8. The thing that all of those other devices, the ATEMs and stuff do is your computer basically thinks they're just a webcam. You connect them through USB, and your computer can't tell that you have a bunch of sources connected, 4, even 8 sources in some cases, depending on the product you're using. Your computer just sees one source, which is the webcam, and then you switch between all the different ones. A lot of times that's more than enough. But if you want to build different scenes and break out different inputs, you're not able to do that with those switchers because that's just not how they're built and not what they're designed to do. The Cam Link Pro as a 4-input capture card is designed to do exactly that, is to break apart all those different signals. And if we go back over here to the B&H webpage, you can see it's also for sale there. Still, same price. The thing about this, so if you have a PC, if you're doing what I did and you just drop it into a PCIe slot, it's essentially plug and play. You install a driver and then you're good to go. And everything I'm recording this video is being done through OBS from the Cam Link Pro. So this is what it looks like. It's smooth, and I'm trying to let it record for kind of a long time because I want it to sort of like, I want to see if we can kind of tax the computer a little bit, which, speaking of, if I pop this scene, which is all 4, and then we drag my task manager here, we can see that I'm currently utilizing 68%. I don't know if that would change if I went down here, but we're using 65% of my GPU's capabilities, which the GPU that the computer has in it is an MSI RTX 2070. Those are words. That's it's a decent GPU, but it is several years old, several generations old at this point, and obviously it's handling this just fine. The Cam Link Pro was released, I believe, in 2019, so if you have gear from around that era, it should be able to support it, and anything newer should even be able to support it even better. Now, you might be saying, that's cool if you have a PC and you just drop it in, but what if you have a Mac and you want to use the Cam Link Pro with something like Ecamm Live? Can you do that? And the answer is yes, asterisk, because basically what you would need to do in that case, let's get Task Manager out of here, is you would need something like this. You would need an external enclosure, and I've seen people do this with great results, but since the Macs don't have, the same upgrade capabilities as a lot of PCs do, you need to basically add that in. And so you can get something like this, which is an external enclosure that you can just drop the card into, and then you connect this through Thunderbolt or, a high-speed USB to your computer, and then you can use the Cam Link with a Mac. There are people who do it, works great, it's awesome. The downside to that is you are adding on this specific one, which is not like the only option out there, is $249. So that is the same price as the Cam Link Pro. Now, instead of a $250 investment, it's a $500 investment to get it up and running on the Mac. So it is going to be more expensive if you need to get an external enclosure. The same would be true if you want to use it with a PC that does not have an available PCIe port and you need to add one. You could do that same thing that way. It's also important to mention that you do not have to just use this for cameras. It can be any HDMI source, and of course it does not have to be a 4K 30 source. It's just up to 4K 30. Now, as we're talking about price, the other thing to look at is this right here. The Cam Link Pro is not the only options. There's something here like the Blackmagic DeckLink, which is basically the same thing. You have 4 HDMI inputs. There are even other versions of this that have SDI and other inputs and things. And this even has its own built-in fan, so it's going to keep things extra cool. And it can do up to 4K 60. And I believe, this is kind of getting beyond me a little bit, but I believe the DeckLink also can handle like sort of more pro bit rates. And if you need like genuinely professional workflow quality results, the Blackmagic is probably the way to go. But again, you can kind of see here, it is $600. And I think price was either lowered or it doesn't say it's a sale price. I have not seen it for this low. So this is significantly more expensive than the $250 for the Cam Link Pro. And the same thing would apply if you needed to use it with a Mac. You would have to put that in an external enclosure. So $600 plus $250, now it's gonna be $850. And now it's not the, what I like right now about the Cam Link Pro is $250, you get 4 4K inputs. So the next question you might have is, okay, this is cool, it sounds awesome, why would anyone want to use something like an ATEM or Rodecaster Video or YoloBox or whatever if they can just do this for so much cheaper? This is cheaper than the cheapest ATEM Mini, which is only 1080p. And the answer to that question is you have to have a computer. You have to have some way to connect it to a computer, whether it's a PC or a Mac with an external enclosure. It cannot do anything on its own. So that's the catch, is you have to have a computer that can run this. And I've been recording a while. I'm still at about 70% of my GPU's capabilities. So my older GPU is handling this just fine. But when you are using those other devices, especially like the higher and mid-range model ATEMs or the Rodecaster Videos like I have here, or the YoloBox Extremes, they start to become more autonomous, independent devices. You can do all your recording, you can even stream directly, you can attach external displays, or if it's something like a YoloBox that has a built-in display, you can do everything from there directly. You do not even need a computer at all. And so that is a huge benefit to a lot of workflows. Like this Cam Link right here is awesome when I need to do stuff in here, but as soon as I need to step away from this desktop PC, the Cam Link isn't as helpful anymore. So it's not that one thing has to replace the other, or that they're definitely good, bad, right, or wrong. They're just kind of different options. I kind of emphasize this a lot in different videos, like different tools for different workflows. Now, another potential option would be to use multiple Cam Links, just the regular, here, I can put it down here, perfect. The regular Cam Link, not the Cam Link Pro. This is just the single HDMI source that plugs into a USB slot on your computer. Depending on your computer and how it handles things, you can sometimes connect multiple of these to a computer. Most modern computers can handle 2 of these just fine. Beyond that, getting 3 or 4 it's going to really depend on your computer. And then you're also, each one is going to be taking up a different, USB slot on your computer, and results can get a little wonky beyond 2 of these. These are also $100 a piece, sometimes a little bit more. So as soon as you've spent the money on 2 of these, you've gotten really close to just buying the Cam Link Pro. And then you have 4 inputs that it's adding functionality and not taking away slots and stuff like that. These, of course, very portable. If you just need a single source, whoa, these are quite awesome. Part of me making this video is to kind of like question Elgato's sanity in discontinuing such a cool device, but I'm glad there seems to be available stock, at least currently. So if you want to grab one, it doesn't seem like there's a shortage for the time being, but it does seem like once they're gone, you start seeing them go out of stock at retailers, they're going to be gone forever. Unless they decide to keep making more, which would be fantastic. So again, as I go through these different camera angles and things like this is all the Cam Link Pro, and it's handling things pretty well. So the Cam Link can link all your cameras, and there's a lot of pros to the Pro. If you want to know more about the regular Cam Link, I do have a video about this specifically, and just look at it. I'm just going to keep this multi-cam shot up because it's very, very cool. And if you also want to learn more about some of the more advanced independent things like the YoloBox Extreme and my 4K workflow for that, check out this video right here.